Hello, friends. So tonight I was thinking about talking about my great wisdoms. Now, okay, so what I mean by that is more, it's a diary entry that I made, and please don't don't take me completely seriously when I say that these are my great wisdoms. It's not that I think I'm so wise or anything. It's not that I think that these are just things that I've learned in life. I'm looking really, really stoned. I mean, I don't know why I'm pointing that out, but like, yeah, my eyes look pretty red. Anywho, these are just yes, yes, you can ask advice. Please, please ask advice. Please. That's awesome. Oh, you're welcome, hon. I hope you enjoyed it. So, yeah, I don't know. This is just this diary entry I made where I kind of like listed like stuff that I had realized in life now. I've been keeping a diary since I was like 6 years old, ever since I could write. And it used to be very disturbing. When I was a really little kid, I wrote like just really disturbing stuff, just like, I don't even want to tell you because it was just that disturbing. Oh, I should have found this entry before. Do you think long distance relationships work or could work? One interesting question. Now, I mean, okay, so something interesting that I've noticed is that for some people, actually, so basically, I think the short answer is that it really depends. Really depends on the kind of person that you are. Really depends on the kind of people involved. But I've known some people who are even much more comfortable in long distance relationships because for them, like they had like a really high emotional need for space, and like any like too much like closeness all the time actually like made them feel kind of less like intimately connected to people, which I don't know, personally I can't really relate to it personally. Like for me it would never work just because, have you ever heard about the five love languages? Like I think it's a pretty simplified kind of view of things, but basically the theory is just that there's like five different ways in which people like feel loved or show love, and that's how I can remember them. One of them is touch. um let me just look it up so I don't get this wrong. um yeah, one of them was gift giving, quality time, um verbal affirmation. Oh gosh, this is all trying to make me pay. Something like touch, like affection, like physical affection. And the next one was acts of service. We met on a dating site. How long ago have you met this guy? Because, I think you've got totally the right idea when you think about taking baby steps. Because I think especially if you met online, it would be actually kind of hazardous to escalate things too quickly. But maybe you can do something where you just you meet, but you only make it like for a weekend or something. Or have you already met? Wait, I haven't even asked you that. Or how long have you known each other? Have you guys met in person before, or has it just been online so far? And also, yeah, so like about these love languages, like so what kind of like emotional needs do you feel like you have in a relationship? If you have like a high need for space, or this guy has a high need for space, I'm assuming it's a guy. Okay, I think you said he. If you have a high need for space, or he has a high need for space, then yeah, maybe you'd be totally comfortable in a long distance relationship. Maybe you'd have the kind of relationship that would be good long distance. But if you're the kind of person like me personally, like if somebody doesn't look me in the eyes and smile at me and touch me every day, then I'm just I don't know, my emotional needs like for all of that aren't met. And yeah, like I mean, that's what I it depends what you have your relationships for, you know? It depends what you look for in a relationship. Like for me, like I have my relationships, yeah, for like all the touch and stuff. We started talking in January, but we Snapchat and talk every day. We haven't met in person. Oh, well, I mean, I think sometimes it's kind of good to be scared, and it sounds like you've used your being scared in a good way to, you know, take things really slowly. I think taking things slowly, taking things easy is very important, and being patient. But you know, if you met in January, then you've been talking to him for a while now, and you know, I think it would be all right if you know. Do you want to like meet him in person? Do you have any like plans to, or do you guys ever talk about meeting in person, or like what's the obstacle to that? But you know, if it's making you as happy as it is, like being long distance, that's a great thing. Like in and of itself, like whether you know it ever or whenever it changes into a what do you call the opposite of long distance? What do you call it? Short distance. I don't know. Oh, close quarters. Yeah, like it doesn't matter then if and when, because oh yeah, here's great wisdom, since this is my great wisdoms. um okay, wait, let's hold that thought. Yeah, it sounds like it. Hey, you know, it's summertime right now, right? So, you know, maybe it'd be cool to do before. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you're a winter person. Maybe you would prefer to do it in winter, but yeah, I think you totally should. But anyways, I was gonna say, one great wisdom, and this is really deep, and I'm gonna go into this more another time. But like, if you think about it, like whether you're happy now or okay, so I don't know how to approach this. How do I approach this? So, if you're unhappy right now in the present moment, then that isn't so bad because that means that at least in the future, present moments, you'll I'm getting too complicated. You won't look back and think, "Oh, it was so much better then." You know? So like suffering, it's like the whole Buddhist thing about desire and suffering, you know, I think that's what it means. That like the desire for like, you know, a different time where you were suffering less or when you were happier or whatever. Yes, and it's always darkest before the dawn, right? And it's true, you know, it's like at least if you're suffering in the present moment, at least you can say that like in the snap of your fingers in the blink of an eye, that will be in the past. And you know, every passing second is a chance to turn it all around, is another chance to turn it all around. I don't know. I stole that from some film. I literally stole that line from some film. Oh, really? I'm so happy that I helped you. Woo! No, no, I think it's cool. I mean, like maybe have you spoken to like anybody about it? Have you spoken to your like your family about it and stuff? And you know, because I know that sometimes being in a long distance relationship, the kind of weird thing about it can be that it feels like nobody like even knows, and it's like it feels like it's like this weird secret thing that like only you know about, and or like you and your the person you're involved with. Like nobody else really understands or has seen any of it. That can kind of be something that feels kind of weird about a long distance relationship. So um I because I know that like I was long distance for a while with some of my exes, and yeah, that was kind of a weird thing. Oh. That's okay. No, it's like actually nobody has asked me a question yet, but that's fine. I think I also asked in a, like a very I don't know, like a very like pressure inducing kind of way. Just being like, ask me something like that. Don't make me look like a loser. But that's cool. That's cool. I mean, but yeah, you don't need to be nervous. You can like there's literally nothing that anyone could say where I would be like oh my god. No, like I'm just literally grateful for any attention. God, you know, like these guys on the internet who are like, um, ooh, hold that thought. Well, you know, then keep them in the loop, I guess, you know, keep them up to date with things, and then it won't be so much, it won't seem like such a huge thing when you finally introduce them to your parents, you know, if you keep them up to date. Because I know that it can be hard then to say like, oh yeah, I met this guy online. By the way, here out of the blue, here's this man. You know, that's yeah, or boy or whatever. Human. So what was I talking about? Oh yeah, when guys like are mean to you on the internet, or what I get a lot, like when you know, if I'm on like a group or Facebook or like a forum and like these, you know, these typical women bashing kind of guys, they always accuse me of being an attention seeker. I'm like, oh, your hair just screams for attention because, or you have like such a boring personality or whatever, and it's just like, oh, how hungry for attention are you? And I always answer being like, you know, slightly like I think everybody likes attention, everybody wants attention. The question is not whether you want attention, the question is how you go about getting it. That's another one of my great wisdoms, that it's not what you do in life, and it's not really your intentions really don't matter, but it's how you do things and how you go about things. Oh, I just didn't read that last message. Let me just um oh yeah, take care, good luck with that. I hope that all goes well. Keep me updated as well about that situation. So let me just actually find this diary entry that I started this whole video for. I couldn't find the list in the end, and then I just sort of gave up. Briefly, but not entirely. I mean, it's a numbered list, so... Ah, yes, here we go. Okay, number one. And this is, wait, this is also sort of a teaser for like future videos I'm gonna make just about like, just stuff that I theorize. I'm so, girl, I'm so gonna make a video specifically about gaslighting. Like for sure, for sure, for sure. Oh, I have so much. Yeah, no, definitely, definitely, definitely. Not even one day, but like sometime, like within the next week, I'm so gonna make a video because I really have some insights about like gaslighting, like because he would gaslight me in a way that was just so. I mean, he had like a whole huge variety of ways in which he would gaslight me. The main thing that he did, he would always question whether I'd had enough sleep. And then, you know, I noticed at some point that he was telling me, like, oh, you just haven't slept. You're just crazy because you haven't slept. And I'd be like, wait, you weren't here last night. You weren't home. You just got home like an hour ago. It's the afternoon. You don't know whether I slept. You have no idea whether I've slept or not. And then I was just like, you know, at first I thought that he was concerned for me, you know, that he was, and because it seems like when somebody asks you how you slept, or cares that you slept well, that seems like they're very concerned about you, you know. But in the beginning, he'd ask me, and then later, I didn't even notice that he was just telling me how I slept, whether I slept. And that was in the long term, because you know how gaslighting is something that just really, it wears you down over a very long time. So, yeah, and then he had a whole variety of things. Like another big one was, you know, just saying like, "Oh yeah, we watched that movie together," and I'd always get a little bit pissed off because I'd be like, "No, you're probably just mixing me up with one of the other girls because honestly, we only ever watched one movie together." You know, like, and I remember because times with you for me are very, very special, and you know. Wow, that was quick. Hey, right on. That's awesome. I'm so happy. I'm so happy for you, girl. Oh my God, it seems like he was probably waiting for you to ask that, right? Right? You know what? I'm so gonna leave. I'm now totally sidetracked by wanting to talk about gaslighting. But then I also think like maybe I should save it for a entirely different video. Also, I was gonna wrap up this live stream in about 10 minutes because I'm gonna watch the Young Turks because I watch the Young Turks every night. Ooh, oh, Australia. You're in Australia. Aw. No, it's really sweet. That's really sweet of you. Oh, okay. Well, I'll keep in mind. I didn't know that I had like Sophie, that's adorable. Thank you. I'm so honored if you get married. Um, yeah, no, now that I know that like you know that you're from Australia and that that people there care about the stuff that I do, then yeah, I'll try to keep that in mind and like hmm. I mean, I guess I have no idea how the time zones are in Australia. What are they even like called? Oh, I thought you might be from England, even though I didn't know that. Um, but yeah, I don't even know what the time zones. Okay, wait. Australia time. Must be like more, huh? Yeah, there's loads. Because yeah, I thought there's like Australia is like huge. Okay. Ooh, okay. So it's almost yeah, obviously it's almost the complete like inverse of yeah, because I get confused. I'm very used to like keeping in mind like roughly what time it is like Sarah Jane. Okay, good. Then I can actually like you know, call you by your name now. I'll remember that. But yeah, I try to keep in mind like what all the different time zones are, but it's obviously impossible for me to keep that in mind. Like, although maybe that would be something that like I could try to be super clever and actually do. I don't know. So yeah, my first wisdom, great wisdom, number one. There are only two things in life that are important. It's a bit of an exaggeration. Just doing it and knowing when to stop. I don't know, like some of these are picked just for like, you know, how I feel like I can see myself on like some like quote, some kind of like quote picture, you know, with like my face being like, and like some, and then like a quote being like, oh, as if I was like Einstein or some shit. Um, oh, and this one is my favorite thing that I've ever thought of in my life. Oh, by the way, I didn't study philosophy or anything like that. All the theory, all the sort of like, I know like political theory and I know sociology, kind of a lot of stuff, but I don't know much philosophy. So if these are things that like already come up in like philosophy and you know about that, or like in some sort of religion, then let me know. So everything that functions as a support eventually becomes a constraint. Yep, it's true, but that's, you know, that's very Zen. That's a very Zen kind of kind of belief. I mean, my golden rule for life really is if you ain't having fun, they've already won. But that's more like my like rah 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 like anarchist kind of thing. Um, okay, and then here, this is also quite rah 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 anarchist. For all processes of nature and the universe are revolutionary. Like, how can I be conservative if every one of my cells is revolutionary? Um, this one is a little bit racy. This one is, if you have a pussy, you're throwing the party. If you have a dick, you're attending it. Now think about that one. That one's deep. That one's deep, but it's the truth. Because us women, you know, you got to prepare the venue, you got to clean up afterwards, you got to arrange security, you know. But guys, they just visit, you know, have a good time, and then go back home. We'll discuss that. We'll discuss that more at another point in time. Oh yeah, and then 3A, which I should have maybe put before 4 and 5. Every constraint was once a support. Yes, it is hard being a woman. Men have it easy. And you know what? You know what? Let me tell you. Oh, look, this is the artwork on the front of my diary. You don't own me. Anyway, you know where I really learned that being a woman is hard, because personally I never really I don't know, I just never, is it crazy to say I never felt like a woman? I don't know, I just never really, I don't know, I just felt like I was a weird, completely different alien creature most of my life. But like when I was playing, I used to play a lot of Sims, right? And I used to always play just a single woman. I used to always start a game with just a single woman, and then she'd, get married and have a family, as you do in Sims, as you do when you're a girl playing Sims. But then one time I did the coolest thing, and I loved this game. I made this guy, and he was a werewolf. This was in Sims 3. And his name was Silver Shadow. And he was like this awesome black guy, and like he was a werewolf, and he was just really hot, and he was a martial arts master. And basically what he did is he just got all the, I had this like, yes, I woohooed a lot. I had this awesome expansion pack with this neighborhood, like Midnight Hollow or something. There were there were lots of there were just so many hot chicks in this neighborhood, and I got them all pregnant. That was my goal in life. Just to get all the hot chicks around the neighborhood pregnant. To spread because he had a beautiful face and he just had excellent genetic material. And I just realized, I was like, wow, this is the funnest way to play this game. Why have I always been playing women? And then I thought, oh, that's it. That is it. That is the difference between being a man and being a woman. When you're a woman, when the baby comes, it's like there, and you have to like deal with it. And you're the one, like the guy can leave. Like you're basically the one that has to deal with the baby when the baby comes, because you produce the baby. And that really is the only difference, because it was a Silver Shadow. He had an awesome life, He spread his beautiful genetics all across the neighborhood. He had babies with all the hottest girls in the neighborhood. And basically what he did is he left all the moms to do all the annoying, like, raising the kids, when they're toddlers, teaching them to do all the stuff and all the awful stuff where you don't get any sleep and stuff. And then he just made friends with his kids later when they were a little bit older. And all the baby mamas, they hated him. And obviously they were all mad because he had, like, I don't know how many relationships. But then he just made friends with the kids, and then he just had them move in with him. And at that point he was rich, because, the whole time he didn't have to provide for them or anything. And yeah, so that's basically my theory on why it's easier to be a man than it is to be a woman. Or that's basically, to me, the only, like, inequality that I can definitely say exists. Oh yeah, I think, was there actually a thing in Sims 3 where they had to pay, maybe in Sims 4 they have to pay child support. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely like all kinds of, yeah, actually maybe it just speaks for the sexism of The Sims. But I was just thinking, just as a very like essential kind of, what is the difference between men and women? It's just like the difference is the babies come out of you when you're a woman. That's just really the difference. And then when it's there, you kind of have to do something with it. But that was the funnest game. That was really awesome. Oh my God, yeah. Well, actually, I've been thinking about that a lot. Of course. Of course. And a lot of people have. Oh God, you know how crazy the Sims community is? It is one of the most messed up places. There's people who'll be like, "Oh, the Sims are so racist because like of the hair." And I mean, yeah, it's just like, oh, there's not like enough like curly hair. But to be fair, if you know about like 3D making meshes for like 3D animation, like then it becomes evident why a lot of the hair is like smooth. But I'm getting into like all kinds of like racial and like feminist discourses here that like I should kind of be staying out of, especially seeing as I'm about to end this live stream in 2 minutes because I'm gonna watch the Young Turks, as I said, and I'm glad I got some of my wisdoms out here, even though it's been a little bit of a mixed bag of stuff. But it's always gonna be, I guess. And yeah, you're welcome, babe. Anytime, anytime. Any of you all need help, please go ahead and ask me. And it's been awesome to chat with you too, Sarah Jane. I know your name now. Oh my god. And yeah, I'm gonna make like more in-depth videos about being in an abusive relationship, gaslighting in particular, and all of the things about that, and then about all my little other wisdoms and stuff that I learned along the way. And yeah, keep me updated. And I'll keep y'all updated about my life. And yeah, you also have a good day, seeing as it's early in the morning for you. It's good to get an early start sometimes, and then you can be really happy about like everything that you've achieved. Yeah. Oh, it's midnight. Okay, I have to leave, otherwise my carriage will turn into a pumpkin. Love you guys lots. It's been great to chat to you. Bye.